To jest Radio Szczecin.
Radio Szczecin.
It's really nice to have you here in Szczecin because you've been to some Polish cities.
Yeah.
But now it's first time with us on Radio Szczecin, so it's a pleasure for us.
Thank you.
Anyway, you once said that your passport is getting thicker and thicker because all of the places that you are traveling to.
Yeah.
And since you are falling in love too easily, can you tell us places that you have fallen in love with recently?
Yeah. Well, I traveled really all over the world. I would say in Poland, I had no idea that Krakow was as extraordinary as it is. I find beauty in many places. I love small towns. I love small towns and small stores and small restaurants where maybe mama or grandmama is still cooking food, still making, pierogies or borscht or whatever beautiful soups that mothers make, So I love the small towns, but Krakow was really, really beautiful. And I was upset with my manager. I was like, I had 2 days free where I had nothing, I wasn't doing anything. And I thought, I always like to be working and not doing anything, but I had 2 days off, and I had a beautiful tour of Krakow, and it was wonderful.
So I hope you'll have a chance to see Szczecin.
I will. We have today and tomorrow and the next morning, and I'll go around for sure.
Everybody is asking you about, how the Grammy Awards changed your life, but not many people ask you about the fact that you were nominated for Tony Award.
Yeah.
Do you plan to go back to theater maybe one day?
I will do theater at some point in the future. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about theater, it has affected my music career. The way that I think of a song, the way that I think of a concert, the way that I know that singing a personal message also affects a larger group. When I sing something that's personal to me, it can be universal because we've all gone through a broken heart. As handsome as you are, Gregory, you had a broken heart. And as beautiful as you are, you had a broken heart. And so this is what makes us, this is what makes us the same in many ways, in any culture. And so what I realize is that the personal is universal. I found that out first in theater. And so it's something that I bring to my music for sure.
Yeah. Coming back to the awards, like when I was talking to Robert Glasper, he told me that he gives his Grammy Awards to his family, or maybe he keeps them under his bed. Like, what
Robert,
do you do with your awards?
Robert, don't believe Robert. Robert.
I know he's a funny guy, so
Robert told me his Grammys are in the closet somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you go to his house, the Grammys are in the living room.
So he was lying.
He was a liar.
Oh my God.
And if you see Robert again, you tell him I said, Robert, you're a liar. But
okay, I will tell him that.
Yeah, but no, I keep mine on my in my office on a shelf.
Uh-huh.
I like that when my nieces and my nephews come to my house, the young, 14, 15. I have fingerprints all over my Grammys because they want to touch it and they want to feel, and they like to take pictures with it, and I like that. I like that they can dream bigger as well, just from touching the Grammy. So it's cool.
About dreaming big, before you were into the music career, you were into cooking, you were a chef.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, what was your specialty? Was there a recipe a la Gregory Porter?
Yeah, well, there were many recipes. I was in my neighborhood. I was known for my soups. I used to make very unusual soups. Mm-hmm. In Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, it was a neighborhood. They had never tasted borscht before, so I made that for them several times. But I used to make a curry soup and cream vegetable soups. Tons of different types of soups, things that I would create off the top of my head. But yeah, I make a salmon dish that everybody asks for.
Okay.
I make a curry salmon with a mango relish over the top, and so people people really enjoy that.
Anyway, you mentioned soups, but in one interview I heard you comparing music to cooking and also to warm soups.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I think it's almost motherly in a way. I think when a mother or a parent hands food to a child, she does it, or to her family, she does it to nourish and to warm and to comfort. And I think of music that way, to nourish, to warm, and to comfort, to give something maybe nourishing for the mind, and to give something warm for the heart. I think of that when these are the things that I love. To comfort. This is a thing that I love to do in music, and something that's very, very food-like in a way.
Yeah. Well, recently you cooked a very beautiful album with songs by Nat King Cole, and I wanted to ask you, your love for his music, it goes on from like you were the age of 5.
Yeah.
So why did you record those songs only recently?
I've wanted to, several reasons. I wanted to establish myself as my own artist, and I wanted to wait until I had, quite frankly, the understanding of working with an orchestra, an arranger, and I think the time was right. I had, after making 4 or 5 records, I felt like I think that I had the ability to go to my record company and say, this is what I want to do. It's a grand project, a 70-piece orchestra, music that has already been done and done beautifully, but I had to tell my story with the music of Nat King Cole. It is the music of Nat King Cole, but it's also me showing an appreciation for Nat King Cole, also stepping into the environment of my childhood at 5, 6, and 7. When I hear the music, I hear my mother. I can almost hear my brothers and sisters. I also feel, if you listen closely to the record and some of the song choices, you can actually hear the absence of my father. In a song like I Wonder Who My Daddy Is, in a song like Pick Yourself Up, Dust Yourself Off, Start All Over Again. So I'm saying something about my personal situation with the music of Nat King Cole.
Before that record, you had an album titled Water, then Liquid Spirit, but you also had a song, Water Under Bridges. Yeah. Like, what's up with water?
Yeah. Saying my mother, I often go to and reference her. She would preach about the themes of water a lot. The renewing, cleansing, regenerative nature of water. Always the ability to start all over again. And the theme of water is in my head all the time, and I'm thinking about it even for future projects. It always creeps up into my thoughts when I'm writing music. Yeah.
Okay, just a few questions about your music, because I was also listening to the song Music Genocide, and it is about the death of soul and blues. Do you still feel that way?
Not just of the music that I'm most familiar with. I mean, the gospel music and folk music and even classical music. Really, the music that nurtures the soul, that warms the heart. Music and cultural expression is very important because, yes, it may be cliche or but I'm okay with that, to say that this is what brings us together. It makes us human. And so it is, it's an important thing. So to make music only to sell records, to make music only to become popular or to make somebody rich is the death of the music that grandma sang, is the death of new music that may speak of the current political situation. So basically I'm saying music has got to be real, and it's got to be from real people, and it cannot be completely made by the press of the button of a computer.
Yeah, well, you mentioned real music, real topics, and about that, there is a beautiful song from your album 1960 Watt. This is like one of my favorite songs from your discography. Do you still feel special about this one? Because I know that you got discovered in a club while you were singing that one.
Yeah. It is a song that's very important to me, and it's timely. The song is not a celebration of protest. The song is about it's a documentary in a way of how people can feel so marginalized and so outside of who is important and what is important, that they feel like they have to self-destruct in a way. Mm-hmm. Because oftentimes when people riot, they generally are tearing down and burning down their neighborhood, their city hall, their bank, and it's a frustration, and it's not particular to one group of people. It happens all over the world when people feel powerless and left behind or left out. It's a human condition, and so it's a warning in a way. We say 1960, but 1960 what suggests 1970, 1980, 1990, and it's happened all over the world. All of those times it happened. As wonderful as London is, it happened in London. As beautiful as New York is, it happened in New York, Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles.
So of course we will play that one among many others by you, but also just to finish with, we have this kind of tradition on our show that our guests add something to our playlist.
Okay.
It might be a song that you just love, one of your favorites, or maybe something that you have been listening to recently.
From any genre, anything?
Anything that you like, anything that you would like to play on Radio Szczecin.
Okay, yeah, on Radio. Let's hear.
Yeah. I'm curious, really. What's it gonna be?
Let's hear Leon Thomas.
Okay.
The creator has a master plan.
All right. So you heard it. So that is a song for you from Gregory Porter. And I would like to thank you for being with us on Radio Szczecin.
Thank you so much.
It's a real pleasure.
Radio Szczecin.